This set is simply perfect, and the reason why is because... Hey guys, this is JP's Lego Reviews. Today, I'm going to review the LEGO Star Wars UCS Sandcrawler. This set comes with 3,296 pieces. It's recommended for those aged 14 and up, and the set number here is 75059. So, simply, let's break it down. Here are the minifigures, part 1. Firstly, we have R2-D2, C-3PO, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke Skywalker. We have 2 of these Jawa types, 2 of these other Jawa types, and R5-D4. Now, all these minifigures look pretty good, but let's look at the back of them. Now, looking at the back of these minifigures, all of them are pretty plain. C-3PO is the most detailed, but none of them are really special from the back of it. But now, let's look at the facial expressions of some of these minifigures, and we'll also look at the secondary minifigures as well. Now, here we have Luke Skywalker's alternate facial expression. Here's what a Jawa head looks like. It's a completely black head with just 2 yellow eyes, since we don't actually know what Jawas look like. Here we have an R1 droid, where it's pretty plain except for the head. You have a Gonk droid here. This is a droid that you actually build within the set, and the pieces are actually stored inside the Sandcrawler. And here we just have a regular R2 series droid, where even at the back, it's a pretty plain build. But now, let's look at the Sandcrawler itself. I also forgot to mention, this is what the tread droid looks like, or treadmill droid, I think. You can spin the arms, and you can spin the head as well, and it's on treads. But apart from that, now, let's officially move on to the Sandcrawler itself. Now, before we actually explore what the Sandcrawler does, and this set does a lot, by the way, let's firstly look at this set. Firstly, it's a beautiful set. It's created very well, but the thing that I will say immediately about it is, if you've never bought a UCS set, or if you have actually rather UCS sets, at first you will be disappointed if you get this set with how small it feels compared to other UCS sets. But then you'll actually appreciate the Sandcrawler when you actually have it, when you think about it, because it's a super, super dense build. Other builds that look big are quite airy and they're quite light, but this build is super dense. But now, let's look at the functionality of this set, and there's a lot. Now, firstly, you can open up these 2 side hatches over here. Also, actually, I'll just show you quickly at the back, but you can also see the functionality in here as well. So, I'll just zoom in for you here, just so that you can sort of see how it works. See this knob? What this does is it steers the wheels of the Sandcrawler. You see how that's shifting? Let's move it back just to 1 time for a second. You can see how this shifts, and you can actually steer the Sandcrawler. And what's great about this set is, even though it's on treads, it actually moves on anything, because some treaded sets can only tread on soft material, but this can actually work on almost any material, which is awesome. You also have a sort of another attachment here, where this will be relevant for later, but you can store it up here. You also have a ladder which you can bring out as well. You can see more of a steering over here as well. Now, if we just close this for a second, we also have this crate, where I'm actually going to get a different crate, place it here. And the reason why I need to place a different crate elsewhere is because on this hatch on either side of the Sandcrawler, you push it into the crate and it should land into a specific slot. Also here, I'm going to actually just get my secondary hand. You have these pieces. You have both this in square and also circular form, and this includes a piece inside where, you know, for the droid that was unnamed that I showed you earlier, that looked a bit unusual with only 6 parts. Well, the 6 parts are stored on either side here. You have 3 crates here, 3 crates on the other side. Now, moving on to the front of the Sandcrawler as well, with this piece over here, which, if you can see it, is a winch area. You can winch it open like this, so you can open it and then you can close it as well. And you can do it either way around. And also, before I actually do anything, I'm just going to lift up the top. I will show you the sort of top section as well, but you can I'll just show it from this side. You can drag this out, and then you can operate the winch here. You can lower it by just spinning it counterclockwise, and you can raise it by spinning it clockwise as well. And you can raise, or you can move out or in the winch system to anywhere you need it to be. But now, officially, let's look at the inside of the Sandcrawler, because here is where things get mental. Here is the top of the Sandcrawler. Let's start here, where if you open this up, you have the Jowl control center. You have 4 different screens here, and then a big screen over here. And this is also, actually, if you lift this up, you also have a screen over there, and you can actually see that it has a camera pointing to C-3PO. And this is the Jowl main control center, and this is where the Jowlers actually control the Sandcrawler from. But to really discover the detail in the inside, you firstly need to kind of lift this up slightly, and then you slide it out. I'm just going to place it over here. Then with this big plate, what you do is you firstly grab it, you tilt it, and then you pull it away until obviously it's off. And there we have the inside of the Sandcrawler. It's mental. Firstly, with the front here, you can sort of push the Sandcrawler, and it will go down this ramp where I've left it open, where we opened it earlier, so it just slides out. And here is the speeder. Here's the speeder in itself. It's a pretty plain speeder. This is how it slides with these 4 bits. But I'm just going to slot that back in. And anyways, yeah, here's the speeder back in. We have 3 different crates inside of here. The crates are pretty boring. They're plain. They're just crates. But here you have some crates. We have a crane, a whole separate crane system as well. And obviously the sliding feature failed this time. But what you do is, with this crane feature, you can winch it out counterclockwise or in clockwise, just like the other crane system. What's interesting about this crane system is you can put 3 different attachments. This attachment system will grab, say, an R2D2 droid. It grabs, where you can just grab anything you need in the Sandcrawler. You just control it. You can tilt it. You can really position it quite well. It's very, very flexible, but it isn't obviously the strongest connection. Then we have this piece over here, where they all sort of work the same, where this is magnetic. You just attach it here, and it suctions anything that it sees. And then finally, before I put this, we also have this piece here, and what this does is it carries crates. So it closes in on a crate, obviously like this, and then once it does, you then just move it away and do what you need to do with it. And yeah, then wind it back up. You can really store it anywhere. You can also slide it around here as well. It's very, very, very movable. Then going across to the other side, you see the steering system in motion. Let's say you open this up where you can. You get slightly more light, but apart from that, there's not really too much else to see. And let's demonstrate this again, but on the inside, if you want to push a crate, what you do is you push it. It landed perfectly this time, and it slides down. And it overall works quite well, but it's quite a movable system. But at the same time, you can't put hundreds and thousands of functions because, well, it's a massive set. But it doesn't have the biggest amount of room inside, but still a very, very impressively detailed set. But now, officially, and also here's the the bit that you slide outside to the front of a Sandcrawler as well, and it doesn't slide out because of this Technic pin. But now let's move on to my final thoughts when it comes to this Lego set. And wow, it's a great Lego set. Now, what are my final thoughts on the Lego Star Wars UCS Sandcrawler? Well, this set is simply perfect, and the reason why is because it has everything right. It has a massive load of minifigures. It's still a somewhat playable set. It looks fantastic on display. It's massive. It was a good value for money at 450 Australian dollars or 300 US dollars. And really, for any LEGO Star Wars fan, there isn't many sets that are better than the Sandcrawler, and because of that, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 stars. It's simply fantastic. There's nothing too wrong about this set. Like, there's nothing majorly concerning about this set or something that you should be concerned about. It's just simply a great LEGO set. And the reason why it's a great LEGO set is simply because it nails everything that it's supposed to be. What do I mean by that? Well, it's the right size, it's heavy, it's a dense set. It has heaps of detail. Most of the minifigures are good, especially the 2014 standards, we have to remember. And it's an excellent remake of a 2005 Sandcrawler, where this set really does the Sandcrawler justice. And compared with the 2014 one to anything that they can make today, it makes sense why they haven't remade another one in 10 years, simply because there's no need for it. But there certainly was a massive quality jump from the 2005 Sandcrawler to today's Sandcrawler. It's simply a great set, and I really can't fault it in any way, simply because all the fundamentals are right. And this is something that LEGO should definitely be doing more often with their UCS sets, where they just need to get the fundamentals right, and then you have hit after hit after hit. Now, obviously this set is retired. It's been retired for a long time, but it's definitely still a set that, if it's something that you want to get, I still recommend it, since it's still a very good LEGO set even today. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. If you want to see more content just like this, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. I hope you guys have a truly awesome day. And this set's so good. And keep building.